Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And today reviewing reviewing a Batman film, one of the animated Batman movies. And this is one of the spin-offs that was from the '90s Batman the Animated Series. Now, just saying that growing up, I loved the Batman animated series. Growing up, I just loved it. Watching on Cartoon Network, Saturday nights on Cartoon Network. Every time I watch a Batman episode, then the next episode would have been watching Scooby Doo. Yeah, so those two like Saturday night cartoons that I grew up watching. Well, I love Scooby Doo to death growing up. I love that show, and of course the Batman animated series. I loved it, and and to me, as much as I loved Tim Burton's Batman with Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton will always be the best Batman. I enjoy Batman Returns, a good sequel. But what definitely is one of my favorite things regarding what I like about Batman was the animated series. I loved it, and in the spinoff of what I'm reviewing is the second spinoff of the animated series. I'll review the first one. I would probably say next, but I want to review this one first. And the first one, Mask of the Phantasm, was released in theaters. This one was released direct to video, and that is of Batman and Mr. Freeze, SubZero. So this was released direct to video in 1998. Yeah. Yeah, 1998. And Kevin Conroy, who voices Batman from the animated series, comes back, which he does once again a good job as Batman, Bruce Wayne. And the film came out, got a lot of critical praise. It's a 92% run on Tomatoes and has a 7.2 on IMDb. So this film got a lot of praise from critics. And I remember seeing this film growing up. This and The Mask of the Phantasm, as well as the Batman animated series. Now, I will say I haven't seen this film in a long time though. I saw it a couple of times growing up, though, but I haven't seen this film as much as I have in a long time. And now that I've rewatched it though, I do have a couple of things to say about the nitpicks. I will say though, but overall I still like it though. But I will say I like Mask of the Phantasm more. Just saying. But I don't think it's not that bad as I remember it. It's definitely not bad. I still like it, but I don't love it. I will say though, with the character of Mr. Freeze himself is definitely better than Arnold Schwarzenegger in Batman and Robin. A lot better than Batman and Robin, to say the very least. Definitely a lot better than Batman and Robin. And as for the rest of the voice cast, like I was gonna say, Kevin Conroy comes back as Bruce Wayne / Batman. He does a really good job. Michael Ansara, who voices Dr. Victor Freeze, aka Mr. Freeze, in which I'm familiar with this actor, especially for the stuff that he's done for TV work. For the TV show, he plays I know he plays for known playing as the Klingon in Star Trek the original show. He was in the episode Day of Dove when there's this mysterious entity that's forcing the Enterprise crew and the Klingons to battle each other non-stop. Like if one dies, the entity keeps on bringing them back in order to continue to fight more. And the character of Kang is appeared in the episode of Deep Space Nine and also Voyager as well. That's mostly I remember him. And he also voiced a Freeze and also in the animated series as well as in Batman Beyond as well too, the new Batman Adventures, but also from the Star Trek the original show, and as well as the same character in the other two Star Trek spin-off shows. And he does a good job as Mr. Freeze. Then you got Lauren Lester as Dick Grayson, also known as Dick Grayson, as also as Robin, and then uh, Mary Kay Bergman as Barbara Gordon, the daughter of Commissioner Gordon, and who's also playing as Batgirl. And of course, with Mary Kay Bergman, sadly though, she passed away in 1999. The last film there's two films she did after her death though, but the final role was she voiced Daphne in Scooby Doo and the Alien Invaders, which she also voiced Daphne in Scooby Doo on Zombie Island, and well as The Witch's Ghost, as well as Alien Invaders. Sadly, though, she passed away because she committed suicide. She killed herself with a shotgun. I don't know what was she depressed? I have no idea. But yeah, she killed herself with a I think it was a 12-gauge shotgun. Jeez, at the young age of 38, I think. Too young. I don't know why would she. Well, I don't know why anyone want to kill themselves. For what reasons? Well, like I said, most of them was probably dealing with depression and all that. Maybe she was. Who knows? But she does a lot of voice work as well, though. But she voices Barbara Gordon, Batgirl in this. She did good. She did good. Makes you rest in peace. As well as the supporting voice cast as well. As Bob Hastings as Commissioner Gordon, Dean Jones, who plays his character Dean. I know him because he played what was the guy's name? The villain in Beethoven, the veterinarian. Dr. Varnick. Yeah, in Beethoven, he was the veterinarian who wanted to do for the money and all that stuff. So he voiced a character in this film. But as for this film, for Batman and Mr. Freeze, SubZero, in the film, Mr. Freeze, he has a little hideout cave in the Arctic, and he has his boy that's with him helping, and his wife is still in cryogenic stasis in the tube, until he finds a cure. And then there's this submarine that appears out. This random submarine that appears out of nowhere. It crashes through his home base, and his wife, causing his wife to break out of the tube that she's in. And then he gets pissed and he freezes the whole entire submarine crew. And what's funny is that the nitpick is that once he freezes the entire crew, you never see those people again. You don't. After that, you never see, or they're not mentioned again in the movie. So you have to assume, because if it's in Batman and Robin, if they don't whatever he freezes, if they don't thaw out 11 minutes, I guess they're dead. Well, it's been obviously more than that. Whoever they gone missing or never mentioned again. So I have to assume they're dead. He killed some people because people are wondering where this submarine is at and these people are. And it's been long overdue where the people are. So by that time, I assume they're dead now. So yeah, so he killed some people, and they're never seen or mentioned again in this movie. Nothing. And then back to Gotham, Batman and Robin, they stop these two burglars, and they're going to this party, and Barbara Gordon as Batgirl, she takes help this woman jogging, I guess, because she's in a jogging outfit, and stops some guys too, and they're all at this party, and there's this guy named Dr. Beslin. He's in some financial trouble. He leaves, and then he gets taken by Mr. Freeze, and he's a colleague. He was an old colleague of Victor Freeze before, and now because he needs his help, because his wife Nora Freeze now needs an organ transplant because of what happened in the cave. She now needs an organ transplant. And he's the one who's capable of doing it. And they find a match, and it's Barbara Gordon. She has that rare blood type that she has. So yeah, Barbara Gordon is a match for his wife, and that's what the whole thing is. He needs her to do the transplant for his wife, and find out where she is. She's on a date with Dick, Robin. Him and his polar bears go there. Robin tries to fight, but fails, and Barbara gets taken. Robin goes after him, but it loses him after this motorcycle chase. He has a motorcycle, but he loses him. Him and Bruce, they're doing what Mr. Freeze wants with Barbara. A little research. They visit this guy named Dean, that voiced by Dean Jones, like I mentioned, who is the Dr. Beslin's stockbroker. And eventually, one thing leads to where they find out where they're at. Their hideout is at this oil rig, and back at the place, Barbara, she tries to escape, and it's like she's a strong person. She's not like a damsel in distress. She tries to make it out on her own, but eventually she's trapped though. But she gets recaptured though. So yeah, Batgirl, I would say, is not acting like a damsel in distress. But she knows she's capable of taking care of herself. It shows, but since she's trapped though, she gets recaptured though. She has a little chat with the boy. She's being dragged, against her will because they're forcing her to on the table. But it's more than just a blood transfusion; it's an organ transplant. And Batman and Robin get there. The doctor, he stupidly shoots to some oil tanks to catch fire. The place explodes. He tries to escape, but on a motorboat. But a piece of the heliport where helicopter lands, it falls on top of him. He dies. And then Dr. Mr. Freeze, some stuff falls on him. His leg gets broken, and he does kind of help, because they help get his wife out. He freezes because the way they go down is on fire, but he freezes it. He tries to help, but although I would say though, more I think about it though, you try to make you feel sorry for the guy, because I know the whole thing, he wants to help his wife stay alive and all that. I do get that though, but it's like the same thing at Batman and Robin though. He's supposed to feel sorry for him because he's trying to cure for his wife though, but here, I mean, you just say basically in the beginning he basically killed people. It's like kind of like the same thing in Desperate Measures, our review like last year. Desperate Measures, that with Michael Keaton and Andy Garcia. It's like, Andy Garcia, he's doing this because he wants to help save his son, right? But at the same time, people are getting hurt because of this. It's like the same thing with Mr. Freeze's motive, He wants to help his wife, though, but he's doing harm to some people, Like I said, at the beginning, he freezes some people basically to death, and then he's doing this to forcibly to get an organ transplant from Barbara, which, even though with transfusion was successful, though, Barbara will be dead. One life for another, basically. It's like that with Desperate Measures, is that, like, Andy Garcia's son needs a transplant, though, but at the same time, after all this whole situation, chaos, and people are getting hurt, even killed, in order to save one life, lives are being taken to save one life, basically, and that's basically the same thing in this, I mean, you're supposed to feel sorry for Mr. Freeze, though, but although he doesn't do anything redeeming himself, and at the end it's like, like a self-sacrifice, or I'll do this, but all he does is just like help Freeze one way to help him go down the stairs. That's all he does, but he doesn't do anything else redeemable. Although it's funny in Batman and Robin, he does, like, at the end of the movie, he gives like the cure to save Alfred. Take 2 of these and call me in the morning. I mean, he does like a redeeming moment like that though, but although Batman and Robin is still horrendous though, but I'm just pointing out character wise for Mr. Freeze. He does give like the 2 tubes to give to save Alfred though, but he doesn't do nothing like that except what freeze a doorway, and that's it for them to get down there. And then he falls because his helmet gets cracked and the heats get into him, and then he falls to his death. Well, supposedly, because after which, because Nora's saved and all that's, and the boy too, the world thinks he's dead, and back at the Arctic, there's an outpost. The news saying that Nora Freeze was saved, but Dr. Freeze, he watches it, he's happy in tears. But thing is, though, he frees his own leg. He still manages to survive from his polar bears, but manages to freeze his own leg. I mean, how much to believe that he survived that, though? I know it's a cartoon, not live action, where the laws of physics don't make a difference in cartoons, though. But if it was live action, yeah, that would definitely say, yeah, he should have been dead. I know it's a cartoon in this, but it should have been the same thing. The way he falls in the heat, where he can't survive in heat, he should have been dead. And then he just walks off with a hobble, with his broken leg frozen. So yeah, that's another nitpick, is how he survived that. That's a nitpick, though. So yeah, with the opening, with how he basically, those crew members are basically killed and never mentioned again. Him, like, the whole storyline for, like, Desperate Measures, he's gonna take a life to save another life, his own wife. And then the ending where he just survived that. But yeah. And I know he's supposed to feel sympathetic, because I know the whole thing was trying to do this to save his wife. Yeah, he's supposed to feel sorry for him for that, though. But the other stuff he does, the criminal things he does to do this, is not supposed to make feel sympathetic for this guy. I mean, but overall, I don't hate the movie, because I can still enjoy it, because overall the animation, like how it was from the animated series, it's still pretty good from 1998. I still like how it's well animated, trying to make it like the anime show. And speaking of, yeah, it's only, when the film ends without the end credits, it's only 62 minutes. It's only an hour and 2 minutes without the end credits. It does, you can say it is, well, it is direct-to-video, though, but you can say it is kind of like a three-parter of an episode, of the animated series. You can't say it, though, but, yeah, but, I still, if it's still a movie, though, I can tell, because how the way some of the animation is, like, how the way you, like some parts in 3D, you get what I'm saying, for certain sequences, but it's a movie still, but it feels like should be like, it's like Star Trek Insurrection. I don't care for Star Trek Insurrection. That feels like it should be like, people say it's like a recycled episode of the Next Generation TV series. It's like that, though, but this film should be kind of like a recycled, like, 2-parter or 3-parter episode of the series. But I do get that, though, but I still like the movie, but like I said, the nitpicks, like I said, makes me don't love it. Although the character-wise for Mr. Freeze is better than Batman and Robin, although that one deemable thing Batman and Robin said with the cure is that handled better than this. But Kevin Conroy, he does a good job as Batman. Michael Ansara, he does a good job as Mr. Freeze. Lauren Lester as Robin. Mary Kay, Mary Kay Bergman as Batgirl. May she rest in peace. As Barbara Gordon. It's too bad. Alright, so the support guest does a good job as well. So yeah, I definitely got a lot of critical praise. This is like the best one. It was the highest rated direct-to-video Batman film of all time until Batman Under the Red Hood, which that had got 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So, which I do like Under the Red Hood. I do like that one, though. But I do like, as for the retrospective for the Batman animated series, I do like this, but I put Mask of Phantasm above this. I do, and I'll also put Under the Red Hood above it too. I do, because I do like a lot of the DC animated movies, but there has been some I didn't like, though. But Batman, Mr. Freeze, SubZero, I do like. I would give it, if I were to rate it, I mean, let's see how I would rate this. I would probably give it maybe a 7 out of 10, just to be perfectly fair. But I do give Mask of Phantasm a lot more praise. But like I said, the nitpicks of this makes gives it a little bit downgraded though, but I still like this film. You know, in retrospective, because I love the Batman animated series growing up. Especially the animation makes it look like it's part of the show. So this is my little short review for Batman and Mr. Freeze SubZero. I do like it still. Like I say, I grew up with the show, but I still like it. But thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review, and I think will be the next one for the spin-off of The Mask of Phantasm. Later.